On this edition of Newswatch 18, you may have seen white chairs on Central Campus this week. We'll tell you why they were there.
We also take a look at the Halloween drag show that took place on Wednesday.
Michael Kramer will bring you more on the season-ending injury of star ISU linebacker Jake Knott, as well as what fans can expect this Saturday when the Cyclones take on the Sooners. Don't touch that dial. This is Newswatch 18.
This is Newswatch 18.
Milwaukee.
Newswatch 18 starts now.
Welcome to the Thursday, November 1st edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Maria Lizignoli.
And I'm Tommy Clark. First, we turn it over to meteorologist Christy Carter to give us a sneak peek at this weekend's weather. What's it looking like out there, Christy?
Well, things are actually looking pretty nice for the weekend. We'll have the updated long ranger and the game forecast coming up a little bit later. So let's actually take a look really quickly at the day planner for tomorrow, if we can. Tomorrow we're looking at 7 a.m., 31 degrees. It's actually going to be sunny and cool. But if we take a look, 12 p.m., 45 degrees, 4 p.m., 49 degrees. So it's actually going to be pretty nice out there tomorrow. So we'll have more in the forecast coming up later.
Members of the Margaret Sloss Women's Center teamed up with the Access Women's Shelter last Tuesday in support of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Volunteers were out to help educate students about domestic violence and of the resources available for victims in the area. Each chair on campus tells a story of an Iowan who lost their life because of interpersonal violence.
2 finalists for the presidency of the Iowa State University Foundation were announced today. Dr. Patricia Berger is the Vice Chancellor of Development and Alumni Relations for the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She currently oversees that university's private fundraising initiatives. Dr. Berger holds degrees from the University of Cincinnati and the University of St. Francis. Roger Newhouse is the Senior Vice President for the University of Arizona Foundation, where he plans fundraising for the entire university. Newhouse holds degrees from Loras College and Southern Illinois College. Both candidates will be visiting campus in the first 2 weeks of November.
Construction for a wind turbine on the Iowa State campus will begin later this month and will be fully functional by the end of December. The small 160-foot, 100-kilowatt turbine will be placed in between the university power plant and the Cyride facility in the northeast section of campus. The initial cost of the turbine is estimated to be $250,000, plus the cost of electricity generated over the next 10 years.
Tonight is the opening night of Iowa State University's production of Candide, the politically and satirically social musical revolving around a young man who realizes that the world may not be quite as perfect as he thought. The show is this weekend only, with the shows on Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. in Fisher Theater. Tickets are $19 for adults and $12 for students.
Last night, the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender Ally Alliance held their first ever Halloween drag show in the Great Hall.
The purpose of this event is to actually fundraise for our organization so that we can take students to Imbaltech, which is the Midwest Bisexual, Lesbian, Gay, Transgender Ally College Conference. And also it's for awareness. A lot of people don't know that our organization exists, and we're trying to change that as much as we can.
In addition to performances by drag queens, other acts included dancing and lip syncing. The event usually takes place during the spring semester, with participants encouraging students to attend. The L.G.B.T.A.A. says that the show is designed to promote diversity and fun for all.
The College of Agriculture and Human Sciences recently added a new faculty member. Dr. Gretchen Mosher will be teaching senior-level courses in agriculture and industrial technology. She will also assume the role of Director of Undergraduate Services for the Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering Department. Mosher received her bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees from Iowa State University.
The Ames Laboratory made a big discovery about molecular bonds earlier this week. A research team led by Dr. Sanjeevi Sivan-Sankar has discovered a new type of cellular bond, ideal bonds. These bonds are not affected by pulling forces in the same way that other molecular bonds are. Ideal bonds act as shock absorbers for molecules. The research was supported by a $300,000 grant from the American Heart Association and a $150,000 grant from the March of Dimes.
A big game awaits the Cyclone football team this Saturday. Michael, how is it looking for Cardinal and Gold as they take on the Boomer Sooners?
Well, Maria will have that story coming up for you after the break. This is Newswatch 18.
Be sure to tune in to ISU TV live on Tuesday, November 6th at 9 p.m. as ISU TV has exclusive election coverage after the polls close. We'll have reporters live in the field in both Ames and in Des Moines to give you the latest results and more. You can find the full list of results as well as some videos leading up to the election on our YouTube page, youtube.com/ISUTV, and on our Twitter @ISUTV. Also, give us a like on Facebook if you want exclusive photos from this year's election.
Cyclone Insiders. Talking Iowa State sports with Matt Van Winkle, Sam Turner, and Andrew Schneider. Game recaps, previews, predictions, and interviews with Iowa State athletes and coaches. If you're a Cyclone sports fan, tune in to Cyclone Insiders. A new episode every week on ISU TV, Mediacom Channel 18, and on your YouTube page, ISU TV. It's Cyclone Insiders.
Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Michael Kramer with your Cyclone Sports Update. The Cyclone football team welcomes the Oklahoma Sooners team this Saturday. The Clones are looking to build upon their 35-21 win over Baylor last week that brought their record to 5-3 on the season. With only 4 games left in the regular season and 3 out of the 4 coming against teams with winning records, every game is important if the Cyclones hope to reach a bowl invitation. Oklahoma comes into the game with a 5-2 record after a tough 30-13 home loss to Notre Dame last weekend. The Sooners look to be a tough opponents as they are 19-0 in games following a loss since 2004. The Cyclones look to upset the 14th-ranked Sooners on Saturday at 11 a.m. at Jack Trice Stadium. Iowa State linebacker Jake Knott had his senior season cut short after having surgery on his injured left shoulder on Monday. Yesterday, Knott addressed the media to reflect on his career and playing his final game in an Iowa State uniform.
It's been extremely emotional, I guess you could say. It's been a long journey since day one. Second. You know, as I'm sitting here, all these things are running through my mind of all, you know, some tough times, some great times, but you know, I'm extremely lucky. Even if it got ended short, I'm very, very lucky.
In his career as a Cyclone, Knott had 347 total tackles, 8 interceptions, and 10 forced fumbles. Knott will be able to start his rehab for his shoulder in a month and still plans to attend the NFL Combine in February. The number 21 ranked Cyclone volleyball team finished their non-conference schedule Tuesday night against South Dakota State. The Clones swept the Jackrabbits 25-22, 25-19, and 25-22 to bring their record to 14-7 on the year. Libero Kristen Hahn recorded 25 digs in the game, reaching the 20-dig mark for the 11th time this season. Freshman Mackenzie Bigby led the team with 13 kills, and Victoria Hurt added 12 more. Freshman Andy Malloy had a career-high 9 kills, as setter Allison Landwehr recorded 44 assists on the night. The Red Hot Twister sisters are looking for their 5th straight victory this Saturday as they return to Big 12 conference play to face Texas Tech at 6:30. In cross-country news, Iowa State women's head coach Corey Immels has been named the Big 12 Women's Cross-Country Coach of the Year. This is the second year in a row that Immels has been selected for the award. The back-to-back awards for Immels is a result of the team's back-to-back Big 12 championships as well. The Lady Cyclones won their 2nd straight championship last Saturday in Austin. The Big 12 win followed 4 consecutive victories for Immels' number 2 ranked team. The Cyclone women look to continue their winning streak at the NCAA Midwest Regional Championship in Springfield, Missouri on November 9th. The NBA tipped off its season on Tuesday with a couple of former Cyclones on NBA rosters. Former Iowa State forward Royce White dressed for the Houston Rockets opener against the Detroit Pistons. The 16th overall selection in the last summer's draft didn't make it into the game, but the Rockets still managed to take down the Pistons 105-96. And former Cyclone guard Deontay Garrett, fresh off signing his first professional contract with the Phoenix Suns last week, also did not see court time as the Suns lost to the Golden State Warriors 87-85. Also a note in that game, former Ames High and North Carolina standout Harrison Barnes scored 6 points as he made his rookie debut for the Warriors. That's all I've got for sports. Christy, what's the weather looking like for this weekend?
Well, again, we have that coming right up, but stay tuned. We got a break, and then this is Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm meteorologist Christy Carter with your cyclone weather tonight. Let's take a look at today. We saw a high of 56, low of 34. Let's take a look at that sunrise and sunset that happened at 7:48 a.m. and 6:08 p.m. So the days are slowly getting shorter as we get into December. Taking a look at rainfall, no rain today, but we're still about an inch below normal. So that's not looking too good, but unfortunately we don't have any more rain in the forecast. Let's take a look at our current temps. 42 degrees in Ames, 43 over in Sioux City, 45 down in Council Bluffs. We're seeing very similar temperatures throughout most of the state. Let's take a look at our wind speeds though. 8 miles an hour in Ames, 3 in Fort Dodge, so it's not too windy out there either. So things are looking pretty nice into tonight. 30 degrees in Ames, 29 in Mason City, 28 over in Waterloo. So things are going to be a little chilly. If you get up in the morning, you may see a little bit of frost on your car. So let's look at tomorrow's highs, though. It'll nicely warm up by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 51 in Ames, 51 over in Sioux City, 55 down in Council Bluffs. Things are looking very nice throughout the state and even the region. We even have a 72 degrees temperature high for tomorrow in Hayes, Kansas. So that'll be very warm for them because they've also been experiencing about the same thing that we have here. So we still have the reminiscence of Hurricane Sandy over in the northeast, but that is slowly moving its way out of the country. And we have one other set of clouds that's kind of taking over most of the Midwest, but things aren't too bad here. We'll take a look at our updated forecast, though, coming up here in a few minutes. Taking a look at the warnings around the country right now, not too much going on there. A little bit of a winter weather advisory up in northern North Dakota. We also have a few little small craft advisories along the coast, but nothing too bad is going on there. There's also a couple fire watches out in northern Florida right now. So otherwise, things around the country are looking pretty quiet as Hurricane Sandy has started to move off. If we take a look now one more time around the region, these clouds a little bit closer, they are slowly moving towards us here in Ames, but things are still going to be pretty clear by tomorrow. Let's take a look at this futurecast. We got this cold front that's actually going to come in, but it's not quite going to come all the way into Iowa because it's actually going to be overtaken by a stationary front. But that's not going to be around too long. That's just going to kind of move on out, and then we're going to see some pretty similar temperatures and weather like we've seen the last week. So tonight, 30 degrees, partly cloudy, chilly. It's going to be kind of about the same as it has been most nights. And then we have tomorrow, partly sunny but pleasant. And let's take a look at that long-range forecast. And one last graphic we need to take a look at, the game day forecast for Saturday. We play the Sooners at 11 a.m. and the temperature for game time is probably going to be about 43, I think it is. And with that, we'll send it back to the desk.
And if you have driven down Duff Avenue recently, you may have noticed someone dancing outside of Pizza Hut. Jairus Davis brings you more.
My little sister. You're Superman. Hey, little sister, push your...
Happiness can be contagious. This happy man brings in a lot of happy customers. Gary Cornelius of Ames is a person of many talents, but has one talent that really stands out: dancing. Cornelius dances outside this Ames Pizza Hut to bring in customers during the lunch hour, while listening to the radio and, most importantly, keeping a smile on his face.
I add a smile into everything I'm doing out there. I may, when I'm in the grit of a song sometimes, but I'll add a smile as people go by and they like it. It's a beautiful thing. I come up with a beat in my head just to make it through the commercial, the 2-minute commercial break on the radio. And then when there's certain songs that are really good rocking ones, I'll change and put my hard glasses on. So when I went to the state fair this year, I got a little mohawk, and I wore that. I saw by the food vendors. This one guy said he was wearing it. I said, "You got any more?" He said, "Yeah, I got a bag full of them." And I saw he looked real cool, just sitting close to food with that hat on. So I picked up one. I get like the firemen coming by in the fire trucks, the truckers, I look at them like this, or they'll make a signal, and they'll honk their horns. Sometimes I'm turned one direction, someone's beeping from another direction, or 2 or 3 cars going by at the same time, they're all beeping. And then you see some people, they're going by and they're coming into town, like you see their license plates is different from here, and it caught their attention. And then you see them turn around, or they'll cut across traffic to just get over here. Some people stopped, got out, and started dancing with me. I've even had one like flash, at me and everything like that, and I just, whoa, I didn't expect that one. Oh, it's about time to go in. I'm gonna do one more song and I'm going back in. I just hope everybody enjoys it, enjoys the pizzas that we make, because it's and the team concept that we have here.
I'm Jairus Davis with Newswatch.
Cornelius can be seen dancing every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon.
Every Halloween, the forest across from Jack Trice Stadium becomes haunted with ghosts and ghouls. ISU TV takes you inside the haunted forest.
I'm gonna walk around like a zombie and just carry this knife around and make it look like I'm about to slice their heads off.
I've scared people into the point where they're crying. It usually happens in the clown room. People have a lot of clown phobias, I suppose.
Being scared is just the adrenaline rush. It's an awesome feeling, I think.
The last day to enter the haunted forest was yesterday. Be sure to check out the haunted forest when it comes back to Ames next October.
And that's all we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18.
Be sure to tune in on Tuesday night for the 9 for a special edition of Newswatch 18 as we bring you coverage of Election Night 2012.
Have a great rest of the week and weekend of Election Ads Ames.